All right, I had to ask this question. My table made sure that I asked. How many people have been late so far tonight? Is the lay still going around? Does anybody know what it is? It's over there? No. There it is. Do you know what to do with it? That's it. I've been tasked with a very difficult job tonight. It's to make Circle K great again. The hard part about making Circle K great again is going, isn't it great right now? You guys love what you're doing? Yes. Do you love Circle K? Yeah. I love Circle K. Because 20 years later, I wouldn't be here if I didn't. This silly thing going around is an old tradition of ours. The problem with old traditions is it's old people that have to give them back to you. So, with all due respect, go hug somebody, go say hi to somebody you don't know, and give them that. This is your chance. Go lay somebody.
I can go?
Do it right now.
Someone you don't know.
Well, just FYI,
Respectfully.
I'm an alumni and Circle K alumni, current class member. Why am I going this way?
I don't know. Do it. He's gonna go. I don't know. Kevin Thomas. Do it. All right, so that got into my time, right? All right, so friends, Circle Kers, fellow Kiwanians, fellow alumni, I'm honored to be here, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak. I'm sure you already regret it. I'm sorry, Kevin. About 20 years ago, I was giving my farewell speech as the outgoing governor for a 35-club, 800-member district. FYI, Kelly Shout, district treasurer for that, ran that convention. It's amazing what happens 20 years later. I love the fact that I'm here, and in what's about to be a very overly long speech, I had named 100 people during that farewell speech. The reason I could name 100 of my fellow Circle Kers, we actually had to do crazy things like get in the car, travel to see them, do events outside of Circle K. Doing service projects together was great. Doing leadership projects together was great. Helping a club build itself was wonderful. Hanging out and getting to know complete strangers, amazing. That's what the Circle K experience was for me. And that's the making Circle K great again that we're speaking of. I'm done riffing on a speech. I went to $5 bet, I think, because I actually used those words. So without further ado, I'd like to take a moment to introduce myself. I'm a Kutztown University graduate. I was the second of a 3-governor group that came out of Kutztown over a 5-year period. It is with some shame and sadness I know Kutztown doesn't have a club. It's okay, we seem to have a lot of that. One of my other governors is here tonight. He actually crashed it to show up. So Dave Gogler, the last time I was at a Circle K convention, was his outgoing convention 17 years ago. After Circle K, I went to Capital University, I got my law degree. I opened my own firm 7 years ago. When I opened that firm, I realized that I could still help people. I could still do everything that Circle K had actually taught me, and now I could get paid for it. Yes! So, I opened a firm that does bankruptcy, foreclosure defense, and real estate. Those are really amazing, sexy topics. I'm sure everybody's thrilled to learn more about bankruptcy. When your student loans get over the top, Nolan, just come talk to me, we'll be fine. So here's the truth. I started writing this speech 2 months ago. However, life got in the way. Similar to my farewell speech, I actually sat down last night at midnight and started writing this. 4 hours later, I came up with 11 pages that will type you until about 10:30 tonight to tell you everything that I feel about this organization. So we're going to start with something, because you guys don't actually know who I am. We're going to play a game. Everybody here heard of 2 truths and a lie?
Yes.
Anyone? Great. So tonight we're going to play 2 truths and a lie. But 2 truths, it's not enough. We have to go through categories. So let's start with Circle K history. Back in the day, 100 Circle Kers from a dozen districts dropped by my house for a pasta party thrown by my mom. I once ran for international trustee off the floor, and due to sleep deprivation, answered all my questions in a Scottish brogue. I popularized wearing Circle K International's original Greek letters. Greek letters? All right, maybe. Kiwanis history. I chartered a Kiwanis club that contained 10 members in 10 different states. At one time, my club had 7 past Circle K governors, 2 past international officers, 2 past administrators, and 2 current administrators for Circle K and Ed. My favorite project involves dressing up in a sock theme, collecting socks for homeless people. How about scandalous history? Kelly? I was the founder of Hearts, the Wolfpack, Jolly Rancher Suck and Blow. I once threatened to turn this district into the world's largest Rotaract. Sorry, Kevin. I once dressed in drag and as William Wallace at my governor's convention because we have these things called governor's challenges. There are pictures. How about Kelly history? Who wants Kelly history? Please source for $20. No? We're out of money? Kelly and I traveled 17 states and 2 countries when I graduated college. I was the best man in his wedding, he was the best man in mine, and I trashed the speech. It's the worst speech I've ever given. And I was accidentally responsible for his loss as governor, but I was intentionally responsible for his win as international trustee. And now some real world truths. These are the important ones. I would not have been accepted into law school without Circle K. I would never have met my wife if not for Circle K, even though she was never a member. I would never have met or adopted my son if not for a Circle K. All right, so now the important part. Who spotted the lies? Anyone? There is one. Anybody know what the lie was?
I don't remember it now.
The lie was we're playing 2 truths and a lie. Good, bad, or ugly, these are the stories of my Circle K, my Kiwanis, my life, and the impact that this group has had on it. Kappa Iota Phi, the original letters, the Greek letters for the Washington Circle K house. This is my love letter to you. Don't believe me? We still have the letters on the sweatshirts. It's amazing. I was first a member of the West Virginia District Board. We didn't have internet. When I got to the New Jersey board, we didn't have email. And when I got to the Pennsylvania board, we actually had to set a protocol for how to communicate with each other over email. Where are we now? How far have we changed in 20 years? I've really dated myself because I swear, we didn't have these things. I understand that today's generation has changed it, and today we're talking about text. If we're texting each other, we're great. But if you don't want to hear from the governor tonight, just swipe left. You'll be okay. Good? Bad? Right? We also didn't have GPS. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have camera phones. We didn't have fuel-efficient cars. If you wanted to talk to your friends in a group, you had to log on to something called an IRC chat room. If you wanted to check in on a club, you actually had to travel to that club or pick up the phone to find out what was going on with them. So in the dark ages, Kelly and I used to drive around a lot. We once hit 5 clubs in a weekend, putting 1,000 miles on the car. That was commonplace. That's how we kept ourselves close and tight as a Circle K unit. And yes, we actually did travel 17 states and 2 countries when I graduated. In those 17 states, we didn't pay for a hotel room. We crashed with Circle K friends. Because this organization is much bigger than just this room, just your club, just your division, just your district. It is a wide, vast group of dedicated and committed college students that are all doing the same cool thing. You don't know that stranger? That's okay. They know Circle K. And if you both know Circle K, you will have one thing to connect on all the time. All of that travel forged lifelong friendships along states, districts, and countries. Stranger in Circle K was just someone you hadn't made it to a club, district, or international social yet. You thought nothing of driving to Lamiston to go to the governor's convention and to steal his gavel. People still steal gavels? People steal mascots?
Yes.
Yes! The other best man for my wedding was a Circle K-er who was bothering the Elizabethtown district officer. And she said, go see George. Banished him from her house. Who's George? He's just a guy in New Jersey, go see him. I've never met Bob. He became the best man at my wedding. That's how we used to do it back then. We would just send people and go, meet the other person in the room. That's how our friendships were forged. I hope that's still how the friendships are being forged today. So that brings us to the question, does that sound like your Circle K? Maybe? Maybe not? No, it's too quiet in your room. So, Circle K is different, right? Different's not bad, different's just different. Without that modern technology, we had to work a lot harder to connect. But believe me, I'm thrilled to say we didn't have those camera phones in the room, or none of us would be back at this speech today. There are pictures out there already. We've paid a lot to keep those quiet. But we had advantages that you guys right now don't have. I'm not kidding when I say that the Circle K that you're in today, it's a much different Circle K because the pressure is so much higher. I give everybody in this room a lot of credit for taking the time to be here for a weekend. I give you a lot of credit for taking the time away from the studies. Because the difference between modern Circle K and Circle K 20 years ago, college cost $10,000 a year for me. The leverage of that was that I could fail. It was okay to make mistakes. It was okay to fall flat on your face. As long as you knew how to get up, dust yourself off, and start again, you would be okay. Believe me, anybody that knows me back then knows I fell on my face quite a few times. The fact that it's this expensive now means you don't have that safety net. So taking the time, carving time out of your valuable schedule to serve your community, to make that an important mission statement, I give everybody in this room a lot of credit for that. So now let's ask an important question. Why do we do it? Why are all of you doing this? We are Circle K's because we love it. Circle K's because we love it. And we love it enough that we make the time for it. This is the foundation of a civic-minded activist we are all hoping you will become. This is what you'll be looking for as an excuse to pay it forward for years to come. And this is why 20 years later, I'm thrilled that you've asked me to be in this room. Or maybe I'm just going a little bit too hard on that Kool-Aid. Maybe you just joined us because there was a cute girl or a cute guy that said come to an event, and it was an excuse to see them. It's actually what got me in the room. However, it's not about how you got in the room, it's how you stayed in the room. Now, I actually get to commit to service. For the first time, I get to help a needy child. I get to help a homeless person. I get to restore their faith that there's something bigger than us. And giving selflessly of yourself, that's what this organization is all about. So let's ask a harder question. Have you shared this amazing high Circle K experience with anyone else? That's hard, right? Who here has an elevator speech? Anybody? I got a few hands. How many Circle K hands do I have? I got a great Key Club hand over there, I think. There's your future club president for Misericordia. Look at that, got the right one. It's hard to actually go up to somebody and say, you should join this amazing group that I'm part of. It's easier for you to build a habitat house than it is to expose yourself and be vulnerable, asking to share the love of this international organization. So let's start one. Hey, I'm George. I collect socks at a Halloween parade. Last year we gathered 1,000 pairs for a homeless shelter while dressing up like Dr. Seuss's Fox in Socks. Those socks are the best thing that that shelter gets because through the long winter, nobody thinks about giving socks to a homeless shelter. That's the most valuable thing they get. Is that hard to say? Do each of you have a project in your head that you can think of that makes you feel so happy, so empowered that you can go tell a stranger about it? Because that's the hardest part about this organization. And I swear, this skill has nothing to do with making your club bigger. It has you get over that fear of talking about anything. That's your translatable skill. That's the skill that helps you when you're sitting for your first interview and somebody says, what is this college Kiwanis thing that's on your resume? And then you talk about that project and the homeless people you helped, or the Ronald McDonald Society you worked at and did a meal for, or the playground that you helped build. That is the skill that you're going to walk out of this room and go, yes, that's why I keep going back to Circle K. Folks, we're all here to foster compassion and goodwill towards others through service and leadership. We are here to develop our abilities and abilities of all people. We are here to dedicate ourselves to the realization of mankind's potential. It's a serious task, but I'm thrilled to join you one by one as we better our world together. But now, your prospective member asks a follow-up question to your elevator speech. Here's where it gets hard. What's in it for me? How about this? Without my Circle K leadership and service project involvement, my law school would have passed on me as a candidate. My extracurriculars carried the day for getting me into law school. Without a Circle K-er that I met at K East, who 4 years later became a roommate in law school, I wouldn't have met my wife. Absolutely true. Or 25 years ago, I sat at a international convention and I met a governor from Georgia once. And 21 years later, she said, oh, here's the adoption agency my sister used. You should reach out to them. That's how I got my son. That's a Circle K-er that I met once. So if you think about this amazing organization and the gifts that it bestows upon you, you never know when that impact's going to hit. Is it today? Is it 4 years from now? Is it 21 years from now? The truth is, it doesn't matter. The connection of Circle K is going to go strong into your future. So, leading up to this speech, I contacted a lot of alumni. I wanted to hear what their experiences were. I wanted the good, I wanted the bad, I wanted the ugly. Stayed away from the ugly, except for mocking myself. But in that group of people I've contacted, we have lawyers, we have doctors, we have teachers, politicians, nonprofit directors, salespeople, homemakers. We've had Kiwanis district governors from my generation already. We've had many Kiwanis administrators. We had the national president of the JCs. We had the national director of GLAD. They're all Circle K alumni. And that should actually get you thinking too. If we have such powerful alumni, how can they help me get a job? Because that's what we're worried about, right? Getting that job is always going to be hard. Why aren't you kicking open the doors with the contacts you already have? Because that's what Circle K and that's what Kiwanis are here to do for you. Finally, I have to talk about the hard part for all of you. How you continue to serve long after your college career is over. First, if you're an underclassman, I encourage you to push yourself. Leading this organization was the best thing I've ever done until I had a family and had a kid. Being in charge of this organization and having 800 like-minded students under me was an amazing, amazing gift. And it has far, far paid itself forward with my ability to come back and talk to others. I want you to take a risk. I want you to run a club office. I want you to be on a district board. I want you to take a chair. I want you to bring forward a new activity that your club has never thought to do before, and because you're passionate about it, enact others to do it with you. I also encourage you not to run off the floor like I did 21 years ago, where I did speak in a Scottish brogue, answering questions. Danny Sutherland, we love you very much. And here, when you graduate, I want you to remember, on your professional path, you should come and find us. That's what we are here for. That's what the alumni are here to do. With 12,000 members across international over a 50-year period, there's 500,000 of us out there that can help you. If you think about the Kiwanis ranks, that's tens of millions of people that can help you get to where you want. Those professionals are here to let you pick their brain and make the journey towards adulting easier. That's the icebreaker. That's getting you through the door so you can start that next path. Does that mean it comes with a string attached? Am I asking you all to become Kiwanians? No. Kiwanis is up to you. That's a controversial Kiwanis message, but it's an accurate one. Some people are going to become Kiwanians 3 months after they graduate. Some people are going to become Kiwanians 8 years after they graduate. That was my case. When I walked into a club 8 years after I graduated and said, I'm ready, they said, this might not be the right club for you. And they might have been right. So instead of taking that no for an answer, we built our own club. 53 members, 10 states, 7 district governors, 2 international trustees, 2 administrators that are both sitting in this room, all were members of that club. Make no mistake about it, Kiwanis absolutely needs you. You are the lifeblood of what this organization is about. But for once, I will need you all to be selfish. Becoming an adult is hard. Starting out is hard. Getting a career off the ground, it's difficult. You will fall on your face. You will make mistakes. You will dust yourself off and you will start again. And maybe Kiwanis will be there to help you with that. But if you weren't ready for Kiwanis, that's okay. I'll see you in 8 years, or I'll see you in 20 years. I hope you're giving this speech someday. As I close this speech, I laugh that I'm now the same age as Kevin Thomas was when I was the governor. I just hope you retain and accept more of this speech than I would have 20 years ago. As some rambling old guy who's waxed poetic too long about the good old days of Circle K, I'll end with this. We are members of the Kiwanis family, a global organization of volunteers dedicated to improving the world of children and one community at the time. We will be a positive influence in communities worldwide so that one day all children will wake up in the communities that believe in them, nurture them, and provide support they need to thrive. When Kiwanis invests in young people, they are making a long-term investment in developing citizens to serve in the future. Kids need Kiwanis. Kiwanis needs you. And I thank you for sharing this Circle K experience with me.